Welcome back. All right, so some news of the day for all you fine people on the internet as we get closer to the weekend and all that. So Owen Power last night, this was announced that he had signed a 7-year extension with the Buffalo Sabres. The cap hit is going to be $8.35 million per season. They are paying for what they believe Power will do. Power is a supremely talented defenseman who was drafted first overall by the Buffalo Sabres, and so they have rewarded both he and Danault, their former number one draft picks, with very generous contracts. So Danault and Power are going to be making some serious money next year. Buffalo in a position where they can afford to spend that amount of money. And I know for some, the whole paying for what a player is going to do might seem odd. But again, getting guys locked up for their prime years, it's just what smart teams are doing at this point in time. And obviously there's going to be the contract here and there that doesn't work out. But with the long-term deals, I looked at it last year. Usually they do work out. There are those exceptions. The exceptions are the ones that we remember. So coming out of last night's game, Taylor Hall clearly got hurt against Boston. It didn't look that bad, but Luke Richardson suspects it'll be week to week for Taylor Hall. So he didn't return to that game last night. Without Hall, that's going to make things a little more difficult for Bedard. That being said, Bedard's already shown what he can do on the ice with a goal and an assist in his first 2 games, and I don't think losing Hall is going to hurt him that much. It does hurt the team, but I think for Bedard's production, should be fine. So Brett Howden was suspended 2 games for that head hit, and the 2 games that that he'll miss, they're at home. They're at San Jose, and then they come home and play against Anaheim. So he will miss games against San Jose and Anaheim. It's one of those things that, again, we look at it and we think, well, that seems fair, but is it? Like, will Vegas look at tonight's game or their next one against Anaheim and think we might be in trouble without Howden? At any point, there's a whole debate to be had there, and so Department of Player Safety with a 2-game suspension. They've also made an announcement this morning. We'll see if that's the end of it from them for today, but we'll get to that announcement in a bit. Roope Hintz will not play for Dallas tonight against the St. Louis Blues, so he was seen as a game-time decision yesterday, and today he's just ruled out of the lineup. He's not going to be there. Ristolainen also will not play for the Flyers against Columbus, so he misses the first game of the year. I didn't see anything disclosed on what's going on with Ristolainen, but it definitely sounds like it's day-to-day. Francouz, on the other hand, it is not optimistic news with Francouz. It's a groin issue. He's out indefinitely. So Francouz, who there was some hope, might be ready for the start of the season, and then there was some debate about, it'll probably won't be that long that he'll be out. He's out indefinitely. So Prosvetov may very well get into some games and get a good look by Colorado, and if Prosvetov plays well, maybe when Francouz comes back, they'll have a decision to make in the net, right? Because obviously Prosvetov would need waivers if they were going to try to send him down. So yeah, Francouz being out indefinitely, it is what it is with Francouz. He seems to get injured regularly, and at some point in time when you're dealing with a goaltender who's getting it, or any player on your team really is getting injured regularly, as a general manager, you may need to start planning for it and planning around it. Interesting healthy scratches for Columbus tonight in that game against Philly. Kent Johnson, Foodie, and Boquist are also healthy scratches. But Kent Johnson being a healthy scratch is a surprise to me. Number 5 overall pick. If Columbus has soured on Johnson, might I suggest they trade him to any of the teams I cheer for. Boston wouldn't mind having a little bit of depth down the middle, as a for instance. And all kidding aside, hopefully this isn't a sign of things to come. It will be interesting to see how many games Johnson gets into, how they handle everything. Obviously, Fantilli making his debut tonight. There are some lineup decisions to be made by the Columbus Blue Jackets over the next few weeks. I'm not entirely surprised by Boquist being a healthy scratch. It seems like either he's playing really, really well or he's not in the lineup. There doesn't seem to be much of an in-between there. Obviously, there's some rough games he has that leads to him not being in the lineup, though. So from last night's game, Boeser gets that 4 goals, and I mentioned this during the recap video last night. I'll mention it again here. He seems to be in the same spot that Horvat was last year when Horvat put up all those goals. Now, when Horvat got to the New York Islanders, that sort of stopped, and there was a lot of discussion about, Horvat's never going to score 30 again, and we'll see this year with the Islanders how many Horvat gets. But if Boeser's in that same spot, the debate's out there of whether or not he'll ever have a 30-goal season. I think, yeah. I mean, he's got 4 goals coming out of last night, And if he stays in that spot and if he continues to be effective at tipping pucks, because a lot of Horvat's goals last year weren't like beautiful highlight reel goals, they were just tips in front of the net. And with the Vancouver Canucks power play as it is, you just stand in front of the net, you're going to get your share of chances. So all the best to Boeser. I'm happy about it, obviously. Even, renewed my going to, running over to see my wife every time he scored a goal and doing my Brock Boeser bit. And by the fourth time I did it, she's like, he scored again? And I'm like, yeah, he scored again. And I'd to show her the hat trick goal. She had to see the hat trick goal where it went in off his skate, because that's a Boeser hat trick right there. But yeah, so good on him, and we'll see how sustainable the Canucks start to the season is going to be. It's one game out of 82. I double checked. I called Gary this morning. He said, no, it only counts as one game. And I was like, please? And he's like, no, it's just one game. So last night, Toronto, it was revealed yesterday afternoon that they were changing their goal song. Dreams by Hall & Oates, or Dreams, make your dreams, make my dreams. It doesn't matter. It's not a very good song. I've never been a fan of that song from Hall & Oates. If you're going to use a song from Hall & Oates, Out of Touch is fantastic. I always liked Out of Touch. Adult Education's a good one too. There are some good songs. I never thought Dreams was a great song. But last night, Toronto debuted their new song, and it is Pursuit of Happiness. Kid Cudi, and it's a Steve Aoki remix. When Sportsnet linked to the video for this song today, I don't know that they actually listened to the one they were linking with all of the various F-bombs and whatnot in it. But at any rate, we'll see how long the song lasts, because it is different. I kind of, just listening to it last night, I thought, just again, personally, I thought that sounds kind of generic, which is okay for a goal song. Generic is better than aggravating. But it does feel different watching a Toronto game and not hearing that keyboard for Dreams every time they score a goal. So we'll see how long it lasts. There are plans to use other goal songs for other games this season. They're going to have some fun with it, and we'll see which one emerges as the favorite. But they said that they did internal polling and talked to fans and everything, and I'm thinking, this was what people came up with. Let me know your thoughts. If you think, no, it's a great song, it's fantastic, let me know. But I'm looking at this and thinking, this seems like a really oddly specific song. So, because I hadn't heard it before. And I'm going to throw this in there as just sort of a hey, this is kind of funny thing. Steve Aoki was DJing at the Aria when we were there. I think it was not this past summer, but the summer before. And we went down to the club while he was playing, and within 5 minutes I was like, yeah. So I'm too old. I'm just too old for it. That's what it is. That's where we're at. I accept that. At any rate, Department of Player Safety announcing that Philip Danault has been fined $5,000 from last night's game where he slashed Ross Colton. So that way, fans that don't think that it was that bad or think that there was something more egregious in the game can get mad. People who think that it was worthy of a suspension can get mad about the fine, and then all of the remainder of fans can look at that $5,000 and say, seriously? And of course, what would Department of Player Safety say? The maximum allowable under the CBA. So you get the line, you get everything, and it all works. That's kind of how Department of Player Safety works. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.